title is Focus on Yourself and Shock Everyone. Now, most people spend their lives focusing on what others are doing. They talk about neighbors, celebrities, even strangers. They compare, they complain, they criticize. But here's the truth. The day you stop watching what others are doing and begin to put your attention on improving you, that's the day you begin to separate yourself from the crowd. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean selfishness. No, it means responsibility. It means you stop waiting for someone else to fix things and you take charge of your own progress. It means you wake up and ask, what can I do today to become a better version of myself? You don't need to announce it. You don't need to broadcast it. Just do it quietly. And over time, the results will speak so loudly that people will be shocked. Think about it. Most people never expect much to change. They expect you to stay the same, stuck in old habits, repeating the same mistakes. That's why when you begin to grow, when you start reading new books, building new skills, speaking with more confidence, walking with more purpose, suddenly the world notices. They say, what happened to you? And you smile because you know the answer. You focused on yourself. See, the real competition isn't with others. It's with your own potential. The question is, am I better than them? The question is, am I better than I was yesterday? If you keep winning that battle, day after day, you'll surprise everyone around you without even trying. And let me give you a warning, some people won't like it. Some will feel uncomfortable with your growth. But don't let that slow you down. The best way to inspire is not by telling people what to do, but by showing them what's possible. Your results become the proof. Your success becomes the story. Your growth becomes the shock. Growth begins when you stop comparing yourself to others and start competing with your own potential. That's where the real magic starts. Most people spend their energy measuring themselves against neighbors, coworkers, or friends. They look at who has the better car, the bigger house, the louder applause. But here's the problem: comparison is a thief. It robs you of peace. And worse, it distracts you from the only person you're truly responsible for improving, yourself. You see, life isn't about beating the other guy. It's about stretching yourself to become more than you were yesterday. Ask yourself, did I read more today than I did last week? Did I exercise more discipline than I did last month? Did I show more patience, more kindness, more wisdom than I did yesterday? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right track, because progress isn't measured by trophies or applause. It's measured by growth, step by step, day by day. When you compete with others, you set a ceiling. If you beat them, you feel done. But when you compete with your own potential, there's no limit. You're always reaching higher, always discovering new strengths, always finding ways to grow. That's why focusing inward is so powerful. It unlocks possibilities you never imagined. Now, don't misunderstand me. It's fine to admire others, to let their success inspire you. But the moment you turn admiration into envy, or inspiration into comparison, you've lost the game. The real prize is becoming the best version of yourself, not a copy of someone else. Imagine what happens when you wake up each morning with this mindset. Today, I will be just a little better than I was yesterday. Over time, those little steps become leaps, and those leaps become transformation. And here's the surprise: when you stop chasing others, eventually they start noticing you. They'll wonder how you've grown so much, how you've changed so dramatically. And the truth will be simple. You stopped running their race and started running your own. That's the shock. Not that you tried to outdo them, but that you outed yourself again. So forget about keeping score with others. Focus instead on the mirror. Focus on your habits, your discipline, your learning, your growth. Because the greatest competition in life is not with the world. It's with your own potential, waiting to be unlocked. And when you win that competition, consistently, you discover a kind of success no one else can match. Quiet, consistent self-improvement speaks louder than words and surprises everyone around you. Most people talk a lot about what they plan to do. They announce their goals, make promises, and explain big dreams to anyone who will listen. But often, that's where it stops. Talk. The difference between the talker and the doer is that the doer doesn't have to announce anything. They just work, quietly, steadily, day after day. And before long, the results do all the speaking. There's something powerful about quiet progress. It doesn't draw attention in the beginning. It doesn't demand applause. It simply builds, layer upon layer, like a brick wall. One day, people look up and realize that something remarkable has been built, and they wonder when it happened. They're shocked because they weren't watching the small steps. They weren't paying attention to the late nights, the early mornings, the small sacrifices. They only notice when the transformation becomes too big to ignore. The truth is, consistency is more powerful than intensity. Anybody can get excited for a week. Anybody can work hard for a few days. But the person who stays steady, who makes self-improvement a daily practice, the person is unstoppable. It's like planting a seed. You don't dig up every day to check if it's growing. You water it, you give it sunlight, you keep it safe. Over time, it grows into something strong and undeniable. Your growth works the same way. And here's the best part. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to post every small win. You don't need to advertise your discipline. Just do the work. Just stay consistent. When the time is right, the results will be too obvious to miss. People who doubted you will wonder how it happened. People who ignored you will suddenly take notice. And it won't be because you told them. It will be because your improvement spoke for itself. So let others talk. Let others make noise. Your job is to keep working on yourself quietly, every single day. Build your skills, strengthen your habits, sharpen your character. Because nothing shocks people more than when someone they underestimated transforms before their very eyes. Quiet consistency is the most powerful announcement you can ever make, and it requires no words at all.